Hi guys, it's Sophie. So first of all, slightly new setup, hopefully you like it. I love it. I'm very excited to be curling up in this room with my new chair, my bookshelves and stuff, but hopefully it's nice to look at. So today we're going to be doing a really exciting video. We're going to be doing my Manbooker haul, or one of them. I couldn't afford them all in 1 month, so I'm splitting out over 2 months, but this is part one of the Manbookers that I'm most excited to get to for the year 2016. Now I haven't started reading any of these yet, and it's taken just about all of my self-control to let them sit there in a big pile looking amazing and not touch any of them, but I wanted to make sure that when I was hauling them I'm as objective as I can be, and I'm just talking about what I sort of think of the face value of the book. I will be reviewing each book that I read as a single individual video for each book as we go through. So the first book I have to show you is Serious Sweet by A.L. Kennedy. This is in essence a love story, but it's around two individuals who are sort of precariously on the edge of each of their professional lives. So you have one individual, the female, who is a bankrupt accountant, and she has sort of put her energy in this career path and really can't work in it anymore. She's had issues with drinking, as mentioned, on the inside flat, and you have a character called John who is a sort of civil servant but has become very disenfranchised and disinterested with his work for the government, and has sort of started telling everyone the government secrets that you're not supposed to tell anyone. From what I understand, the whole novel's told in London in a 24-hour period. It is quite big, so I'm interested to see how that plays out. You guys know love stories aren't really my thing, but when they're written well, I'm perfectly happy to give them a go. And the second book I have is Work Like Any Other by Virginia Reeves. This one is set in 1920s Alabama, and we follow our main character who was an electrician. Due to his wife's sort of inheriting a really horrible sort of downtrodden farm, he has to give up his work as an electrician and help her on the farm, essentially become a farmer. He doesn't sort of want to do this really. He loves his work, but goes and does it anyway. But when he's there, he kind of realises that he could draw electricity from the grid and bring that electricity back into his life. Does so, but unfortunately an individual is killed on their illegal electricity lines. I don't know where this story starts because that's sort of all the info we got in the blurb, but I don't know whether it's going to start with him working and then go through, but that would seem a very spoilery blurb, or whether it starts with the death, which I think would be more interesting, and then having little back shots into his past. I'm really intrigued to see how this one goes, and maybe we'll pick this one up first. The next one I have is Hystopia by David Means. This seems like a really odd book, but I think it sounds really intriguing, and the cover of this one is absolutely gorgeous. I love that so much. So this is set in the end of Kennedy's presidency, and the Vietnam War is still going on. And in order to try and support, to some extent, the soldiers that are coming back from Vietnam, they decided to employ this technique called enfolding to sort of cover up the memories of this trauma that they've had in the war. So you have a lot of soldiers who are coming back and being enfolded or sort of forgetting what's happened to them, but those who are too unwell are just left to sort of wander around the United States, and they begin to start a sort of military coup-esque sort of thing, I think, and they sort of begin to act out the things that they've seen in Vietnam on civilians, and no one seems to really have control over it. It sounds really confusing. I don't think I'm properly going to understand what this one's about until I dive in, but I'm interested because it's sort of that PTSD vibe as well as wartime stuff, so I'll see how this one goes, and yeah, this one I think again is going to be one I'm going to choose probably relatively soon. The next one is Deborah Levy's Hot Milk. This story follows a young girl and her mother on a sort of medical slash sort of finding oneself quest, I think. So essentially the daughter of the pair suddenly loses the ability to be able to move her legs, and in a sort of last-ditch effort they decide to go to the coast of Spain to this treatment centre to see if they can figure out what's happened to her and why she can't walk anymore. But I believe the novel focuses more than just the medical aspect, that it's also about that relationship between mother and daughter. It's a really short one, and I've picked this one up a few times before it was longlisted but just hadn't bought it, so I think I am interested, but there are others that I'm more interested in at the moment. The next one is Eileen by Tessa Mossberg. This one I can't help think is just about Eileen Warnos. It's not, as far as I'm aware, but I can't help it, just the car and the name just immediately brings it to my mind. This novel is, I think, sort of noir novel about a woman who is sort of split between two really unpleasant tasks in her life. One is sort of looking after this young men's prison, and one is caring for her elderly father. And she sort of lives in this fantasy world where she's escaping from the banality and unpleasantness of her day-to-day life until she meets this woman called Rebecca. And Rebecca to her is sort of everything that's been within her fantasy and everything that she isn't. And somehow, we don't know yet, somehow she coerces Eileen into committing a crime of some sort. But as for the rest of it, I think it's very vague and I want to go into this one relatively blind. And then the next one is The Sellout by Beatty. Can't really see that one, I'll try and put it closer for you. This one is one that I've heard very mixed things about since it's been longlisted, but I'm still really interested to get into it. There are things people are saying that the sort of negative side are that they think it's a bit dense potentially, and a little bit complex. Just because I'm reading Infinite Jest at the moment, I feel as though it's probably not going to seem all that dense or complex to me unless it's worse than Infinite Jest, because I'm kind of, that's my high mark at the moment. So I think I'll probably be okay on those two fronts, so I'm not put off by the book so far. But in terms of storyline, in terms of plot, it follows a man whose town, I think this is sort of the main part of the story, and his town, called Dickens, has been removed from the maps because it's just a bit of a horrible town and no one really wants to think, I think it's near LA, and I think it's sort of besmirched the reputation of LA somehow, and they wanted to pretend it doesn't exist. And he's trying to say that we are here, but rather than doing anything positive, he gets hold of an old childhood friend and convinces him that they should racially segregate the town to try and get attention. And it's about that, his life, and the lawsuit that gets brought due to this sort of falling backwards almost in this one tiny town. To me it sounds really interesting, and just I don't know how that's going to play out. I don't mind if it's a bit more dense, I don't think that'll be an issue, but we'll see how I get on with it. Lots of people are having mixed feelings, so we'll see how I go. The next one is All That Man Is by David Szalay, and this one seems like it is going to be more of a character study than a plot-driven one. We follow 9 different men who are all living away from home as they explore themselves and what it is to be man in today's society, and they're all going to have slightly different views on life and on manhood, but I think there's an overarching sort of theme of the development of a person into a man. It's been a while since I've read something that's been quite so character focused, so I am excited to get into this one, but just because there's not so much of a plot, it's very hard to know whether I'm going to enjoy it or not. The cover is gorgeous, unfortunately it got broken, but the cover itself is gorgeous. It sort of has bits of the map from where each of our characters are from scattered across them, which I rather like. And then the last book I have for the first half of the haul is My Name is Lucy Barton by Elizabeth Strout. And this book is another sort of more character-driven piece about a young woman, I believe it's a young woman, it might be an older woman, I don't know, but it's a woman who's in hospital, and her mother comes to visit her, and she hasn't seen her in a very long time, and it causes the daughter to start, Lucy, to start thinking about what her past was and who she is now. She's moved to New York and tried to set herself up as a writer, and it isn't really working well, and it causes her to reevaluate her life, both on her own and in relation to her family. I feel like I'm really going to enjoy this one. I don't know why, I just kind of have a feeling around it, but we'll see what I think of it when I actually get into it. It's just, I don't know, there's something about it, something about the way the book's designed as well, and sort of the way that it's actually described. It just kind of feels like I'm going to like it. I don't know if you guys ever get that. Okay, so that is 8 of the 13 Manbooker long list that I've shown you so far. I'm going to get started on these ones straight away, and I will put reviews up as I read them. I will be hauling, I expect, the remainder in the next session of the long list, though if the shortlist comes out beforehand, and there are some I'm not really interested in that haven't been shortlisted, I probably won't buy those. So apologies if I do miss a few of the 13 out, but I am reading the ones I'm most interested in first. Please, no spoilers, but let me know if you've read and enjoyed any of these so far. I love doing the Manbooker. It's one of my favourite things on BookTube and on the reading year, and as soon as I finish filming this video, I'm not even going to edit it. I'm sitting down and I'm going to start one, and I'm so excited. I'll see you soon, probably in a review video is the reality, but I'll see you very soon regardless. Bye bye. And then the last one I have for now is Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. This book is kind of sci-fi, is I think probably the easiest way to explain it.